There's a shaky vertical video clip making the rounds this week. A backstage moment where Rita Ora leans into an unseen mic, smiles, and says, "Yeah, I guess I was Becky." The audio is tinny, the context unclear, but the internet didn't wait for context. In hours, hashtag Rita confirms rocketed to the top of X, and an 8-year-old rumor burst back to life. Was Rita really the mystery woman who almost blew up the most famous marriage in music? And if so, why did her own career seem to stall right after the scandal? Dig a little deeper and you find another, darker thread, one that loops back to 2011, a model named Kathy Corey White, and whispers that her sudden passing was no freak aneurysm at all. Fans point to timelines, court filings, even private investigator blogs claiming that whenever someone edges too close to the Carters, the ground opens under their feet. Tonight we're opening both files. We'll rewind to 2016's Lemonade splash, follow the clues through lemon print bras, label lawsuits, and a Met Gala Not Becky pin. Then we'll trace the rabbit hole that ends with a cold Manhattan autopsy report no one can seem to agree on. Along the way, we'll ask 2 questions that refuse to stay buried. Did Beyoncé quietly ice Rita Ora out of the American charts? Why do stories of silencing and even worse cling to music's most powerful couple? Stick around, because every time the smoke seems to clear, a new ember lights up the timeline, and the coincidences start to look a lot less like coincidence. April 23rd, 2016. Beyoncé drops Lemonade, an album film equal parts confession and cultural lightning bolt. Midway through the track, "Sorry," she fires a single, unforgettable line. "He better call Becky with the good hair." Fans hear it as both warning and address, an unnamed woman who risked the wrath of Queen Bee herself. A cottage industry of TikTok sleuths is born overnight, dissecting lyrics, pauses, even wardrobe choices to ID Becky. Rumors first zero in on fashion designer Rachel Roy after she posts an Instagram caption, "Good hair, don't care." When trolls flood her comments, she retreats. Still, the hunt keeps going. By Monday morning, talk show hosts are explaining what good hair even means in Black celebrity code. Beyoncé never clarifies, letting the mystery do what mysteries do best, multiply clicks and streams. Fast forward a week and a different name surfaces, Rita Ora. On paper, the math makes sense. She's Jay-Z's own signee at Roc Nation, often photographed around him, and young enough that the power imbalance would stir public sympathy. Add one Snapchat post and the internet draws its own map. Rita poses in a lemon pattern bra, the exact fruit Beyoncé splashed across her visuals, and a tiny gold pendant that, reversed by Snapchat's selfie camera, looks like the letter J. In the middle of Becky Mania, that's basically an engraved confession. Ore laughs it off on Twitter, "These rumors are false." But tweets don't stick the way screenshots do. When pressed again during a 2019 radio hit stop, she doubles down. "It was an R necklace flipped backwards, pure coincidence, please move on." Fans don't. They dissect vocal fry, eye contact, every micro pause, turning her denials into evidence. Why does this matter? Because Beyoncé's fandom isn't just large, it's organized. Once the Hive decides you wronged their queen, playlists disappear, interview invites dry up, radio PDs suddenly didn't get the new single. Nothing proven on paper, but artists from Carrie Hilson to Keisha Cole will quietly tell you they've felt that chill. By late 2016, Rita Ora, who'd logged 4 UK number ones in 4 years, won't touch the US top 40 again. Coincidence or quiet consequence? We're just getting started. But while Rita ducked rumor fire, another name was already disappearing from headlines. May 2nd, 2016, New York City. The Met Gala's crimson steps overflow with flashbulbs when Rita Ora sachets up in a feathered Vera Wang. 2 hours later, she posts a selfie cheek-to-cheek with Beyoncé, captioned, "Family." On its face, that single Snapchat should end the Becky talk. Fans read it as Beyoncé's royal absolution. Instead, it pours gasoline. Why would Ora need a peace photo if there was never a war? Why the cheeky, not Becky pin she flashes at the after party? Was it friendly banter or carefully negotiated optics? Back in London, tabloids run a different story. Ora is quietly lawyering up. In December 2015, she'd filed suit against Roc Nation, alleging the label orphaned her career after pivoting resources to sports management. The complaint claims she delivered new music, but the team that should have green-lit singles was busy rebooting the Brooklyn Nets. Roc Nation countersues. Both parties settle out of court in 2016. Inside fan forums, a narrative takes root. Beyoncé didn't just forgive, she froze. Conspiracy threads point to chart receipts. After the lawsuit, Ora's US radio ads plummet. Her 2018 comeback Anywhere peaks in the UK top 10, yet misses the Hot 100 entirely. Spotify monthly listener spikes slide into valleys. Nothing in writing says Beyoncé did this, but in an industry built on cosigns and clearance calls, sometimes silence is louder than shade. Still, that silence wouldn't compare to what happened or didn't happen 5 years earlier on a quiet Chelsea block. Because before Becky, there was Corey. And her story never got a Met Gala selfie. Kathy Corey White was a 28-year-old model and publicist whose circle included Claudia Jordan, Diddy, and a rising Brooklyn rapper named Sean Carter. In September 2011, she collapses in a Manhattan apartment, pronounced dead at Beth Israel Hospital. NYPD's initial classification, suspicious, pending autopsy. Days later, the official report lists a brain aneurysm, case closed, at least on paper, but rumor blogs pounce. Hollywood Street King publishes alleged detective quotes claiming toxins might show up in White's blood work. Commenters insist she'd told friends she was pregnant with Jay-Z's child just days before she died. No mainstream outlet repeats the claims, yet they refuse to die, resurfacing each time Jay-Z trends for anything remotely scandalous. In 2024, YouTuber Trap Lore Ross drops a 2-hour doc, The Disturbing Death of Jay-Z's Mistress, racking up 4 million views in a month. The film cites no police sources, only archived blogs and a single anonymous family friend, but algorithms don't grade sources, they watch engagement. Soon, TikTok is tiled with split-screen storytellers whispering, "Google Kathy White, see what vanishes." Legally, no link between the Carters and White's death exists. Factually, brain aneurysms can strike young adults without warning. Yet the timing, 2 weeks after Beyoncé's first pregnancy reveal, fuels suspicion that never quite burns out. Enter Jaguar Wright, gasoline can in hand. R&B vocalist Jaguar Wright spent the early 2000s on the fringes of neo-soul fame. By 2020, she's reinvented as YouTube's resident industry whistleblower, alleging everything from payroll exploitation to literal body counts. Her most explosive targets, Jay-Z and Beyoncé. In October 2024, Piers Morgan invites Wright onto Uncensored to discuss the Diddy trafficking case. Mid-segment, she pivots, claiming the Carters have hundreds of victims, and hinting Kathy White was just the first. Morgan, eyes widening, lets the tape roll. Within 24 hours, Carter attorneys fire off a legal letter. Morgan edits the replay, issues an on-air apology, and labels Wright's claims totally false. The retraction gives skeptics fresh ammo. Why apologize if there's nothing to hide? Supporters counter, because libel laws exist. Either way, Wright's clip lives forever on mirrored TikToks, the apology buried beneath duets and stitch reactions. What's verifiable is this. No police report names Jay-Z in connection with White. No civil suit alleges Beyoncé engineered a blacklist. But social platforms reward intrigue over footnotes, and Wright, fiery, unscripted, speaks the algorithm's native tongue. Meanwhile, Rita Ora is trying to speak a different language. The language of pop comebacks. Between 2012 and 2014, Rita chalks 4 UK #1 singles. More than any British female soloist in that span. In the States, she nabs a single top 10 via Iggy Azalea's Black Widow, peaking at number 8. Then, the line goes flat. From 2017 to 2025, she lands 0 Hot 100 entries, even while racking UK hits and racking up 13 top 10s at home. Ask 10 A&R execs why, you'll get 10 shrugs. Wrong timing, streaming pivot, maybe the lawsuit souring, ELA radio gatekeepers. Ask Stan Twitter and they'll serve a simpler brew. Queen Bee said no. Proof none. Circumstance plenty. Ora herself hints at unseen forces in a 2023 podcast. Some doors just never opened again, and I'll probably never know why. She dodges the direct Becky question until that grainy backstage clip leaks in 2025. Is it real? Deepfake experts say audio could be stitched. Ora's camp declines comment. Yet within days, Spotify's Becky playlists spike 400%, and hashtag I Stand With Rita trends alongside hashtag HiveProtectTheQueen. Controversy once again sells more than singles, which brings us back to those original questions. Why do conspiracy stories cling to the Carters like glitter to velvet? Partly the brand. Beyoncé trades in perfection. Perfection invites curiosity about hidden cracks. Partly the silence. Unlike, say, Cardi B clapping back in real time, Beyoncé rarely addresses drama, letting speculation echo unanswered. Silence may feel regal, but online, silence is an empty field begging to be graffitied. There's also the fandom factor. The Hive's protective reflex can look to outsiders like intimidation. For neutral observers, that imbalance breeds suspicion. If dissent gets dogpiled, maybe there's something to hide. For Beyoncé loyalists, the same pylon feels like righteous defense. Two realities, each scrolling a separate For You page, add in platform incentives, watch time bonuses for Scandal, viral audio for TikTok recreations, and you get a digital petri dish where rumors replicate faster than retractions. Piers Morgan's apology garners 1.2 million views. The original Right clip, even edited out, builds 9.4 million across mirrors. The algorithm keeps score, not truth. So did Beyoncé actually destroy Rita Ora's US momentum? No leaked emails, no executive testimonies, no smoking gun memo bears her name. Yet the timing of Rita's chart freeze, the lawsuit, and the lemon bra selfie create dots easy to connect if you want a pattern. And what about Kathy White? The death certificate says aneurysm, internet detectives say cover up. Until a DA reopens the file, and good luck convincing one to do so, truth remains blurry. What is clear is that narratives thrive in the absence of daylight. Beyoncé's fortress-level privacy may preserve her mystique, but it also lets unverified theories bloom unchecked. Rita's whispered confession, real or edited, lives because she won't clarify. Jaguar writes stories spread because viewers crave the forbidden version of fame. Maybe the real power play here isn't sabotage or silencing. Maybe it's a feedback loop we all feed. Click, share, react, repeat, until legend feels more solid than any PDF report. The question isn't whether Beyoncé blackballed Rita, or whether someone unalived Kathy. The question is why, 9 years after Lemonade, the mystery still sells out timelines. And that's where we leave you. For now. Because another name just surfaced in the rumor mill, another friend of a friend with receipts and a story the internet can't resist. Subscribe and keep those notifications on. The next twist in music's most tangled saga may already be loading in your feed. Until then, keep your lemons handy, because where there's smoke, somebody's probably squeezing fruit.